Hi guys, I'm kind of new to this, so I just want to say sorry in advance if this is amateurish. With that being said, I want to talk a little bit about Miiverse. So what exactly is Miiverse? Miiverse was a social media app, not a website. I'm kind of sick of people saying Miiverse.com. Yes, they later made a site that you could access your account with, but that's it. But getting back on track, it was exclusively on the Wii U and was later ported to the 3DS. It was designed to bring Nintendo fans together as a community and share screenshots, small drawings, discussions, tips, and interact with others from around the world. Miiverse at its core was essentially like a Nintendo version of Facebook. It even had likes that were instead called Yaz. For example, let's say I was playing the Scorpion King Rise of Arcadian, right? And I wanted to ask the community a question like, how do I jump? The ideal Nintendo way would be something like this. But instead, it went down something like this most of the time. Anyone that used Miiverse back in the day knows exactly what I'm talking about. So let's dive right into the good and bad legacy that was Miiverse. Where do I even start with this dumpster fire? I guess I can start with my personal experience. I really wasn't an active user for majority of Miiverse's lifespan. I'm personally more of an Xbox guy, but would occasionally make a post for a game I was playing. At first, everything was pretty good. All 12 users on the Wii U was pretty nice. But then, Nintendo added the app to the 3DS for some reason. This is when shit really hit the fan in my opinion. I mean, let's look at the numbers for the Wii U and 3DS, okay? The Wii U sold a whopping 13 million units in its life. And the 3DS sold 75 million units. That makes way too much sense now in retrospect. Nintendo gave a bunch of kids access to a social media app, and my god, was that a really stupid idea. Back to my experience though, I remember making a few friends, getting into drawing and playing Smash 4 a lot. I know you may assume I hated Miiverse just by me describing it, but truth be told, I actually enjoyed it. It was so interesting meeting people from around the world. I managed to befriend people from Japan, Germany, Brazil, France, etc. I was genuinely interested in learning about other cultures, so that was pretty awesome. In all honesty, if you knew what communities to avoid, Miiverse was pretty chill. I never once got into an argument or any sort of drama. I usually just trolled a lot of people. What about your experience, Belle?
I was actually a 3DS user myself. See, I would steal my grandma's Wi-Fi to post bad anime drawings at about 3 in the morning. I didn't become too active till around, I think it was 2015, so I missed a majority of the golden age of Miiverse. No, instead, I got to experience the downward spiral that Miiverse is known for today. I racked up a good 1,000 followers since they too like bad anime drawings of the same character over and over again. But I only really talked to a total of 5 people. Unfortunately for me, my Mii was way too sexy. Me being a gamer girl that only played Animal Crossing, I got hit on a lot. I remember there's this one guy who would always flex his YouTube Let's Plays, and all 2 of his subscribers. He'd link his channel on Miiverse and get banned every single time. Now, this guy made at least 20 accounts, which is the definition of insanity, I would say. That's kinda dumb, right? Well, this guy also this guy also said he stopped a school I can't say that. He stopped a shoot schooler, if you get what I mean. Even though I told him I had a boyfriend at the time, he would still hit on me and tell me how much ad revenue he made to try to impress me. There was also this guy who would make accounts posing as evil clones of the people that I talked to out of jealousy, I guess. To be honest though, I didn't get it that bad compared to a lot of people since I was ungenuinely nice to everyone. Call me a pushover.
You're a fucking cuck.
I know. But I didn't get into much drama other than the occasional thirsty guy and or girl. I don't discriminate. I kept in my bubble of friends and didn't really interact with other users outside of my posts.
Should we go ahead and talk about the trends and communities?
No, let's end it here. I don't want to.
Too bad. Let's do it. Like any other social media app, Miiverse. Oh god, I'm just fucking laughing. Like any other social media app, Miiverse was no stranger to trends or groups of, how would I say it, interesting people, to put it lightly. Let's start with the good side. The Smash community was pretty cool. Sakurai would post daily updates to the game before it released. Seeing Mario, Sonic, Pac-Man, and Mega Man in one screenshot blew my fucking mind. I never thought I'd see the day. There was also a shit ton of memes.
You almost forget that Miiverse was meant to be centered around gaming. Well, of course, you have plenty of references to the CDI games and whatnot. The My Boys and the spaghetti memes were everywhere. You'd think they would be pretty crudely drawn, but some of them actually had some insane detail and effort put into it. You see these pixels? All of these pixels were individually drawn since the drawing system on Miiverse didn't have patterns like Flipnote has. Just seeing how dedicated some of these artists are make me wonder why they're wasting their talents on Miiverse of all places.
Oh yeah, the artists on Miiverse were crazy talented. I got into drawing, like I said before, once Nintendo made games like Art Academy, but as soon as I saw all those incredible artists, I just stopped. My drawings were ass and my confidence dropped to rock bottom. But still, some of the favorite artists were Trav, Justin, Ronald, and I think that's his name? Yeah, Ronald, and Archstan. Trav had memes that legitimately made me burst out laughing. Ronald and Justin had great art mixed in with memes. And Archstan is probably the reason why we got Roy as DLC in Smash 4. His comics were amazing. What about you? Who was your favorite artist?
Oh man, my favorite artist was, her name was Me, with like an exclamation point at the end of her name. So like, she would do these insane like pixel drawings. I'll show them on the screen real quick, but she calls them gray tones. But like, she would draw each individual pixels and she would draw a lot of Zelda drawings using this like technique, and like they look really cool. Man, it was so hard saying her name though, because people would make these posts like, oh hey, who's your favorite Miiverse artist? And then you go on there and you say me, exclamation point, and they'd be like, well, that's pretty self-centered. It's just like, no guys, her name is literally Me. But she's actually still active on Twitter. Her username is like Stoic Seraphim. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, she's actually really active and she still like draws, like crossover stuff.
And it's still pretty good.
And it's high quality. It's pretty high quality, and she doesn't draw porn like most other Miiverse artists. Don't worry, Jizz. We didn't forget about you. All this Animal Crossing and Super Smash stuff was just top of the line, just fantastic.
Got a blast. Oh man. Oh, I know. I forgot to give a shout out to a special person from Miiverse, and it's one that I forgot, and I feel like a dickhead now. I want to shout out Ragdoll, because she's the only Miiverse artist that's still around, in my opinion, that seems so wholesome. And she drew me this fucking drawing right here. Because, she drew me, Doom Guy, and Master Chief. And I wanted to pay her a lot of money for this, because just look at this fucking thing. It's amazing. Alright? And she only charged me $40 for this. I wanted to give her more, but she actually wanted less. And she's just a very talented person, so I just want to give a huge shout out to her. Thank you, doll. You're awesome. Looking back at all these things, Miiverse was itself.
What about Gingerbread Day?
Why would you bring that up?
Well, you said we'll talk about the good and the bad.
When did I say that? So let's dive right into the good and bad legacy that was Miiverse. Okay, fine. Gender Bend Day was a trend where you changed your Mii into the opposite.
Oh no, what the fuck? Look what you did!
I don't get it. I stayed the same.
It's a day where everyone changed their Miis to the opposite gender, obviously. There was way too many catfishes and trolls that took advantage of innocent users. A moment of silence to those that got trolled. I'm one of those trolls and I know I'm going to hell for it. It was too funny. Ew.
お前は
Jesus Christ, I was just joking!
What just happened?
Ah, what the hell? Hey. Ugh. Hey, Belle. Guess what? I'm back. And I found this really cool helmet. And a sombrero. I think it's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna use it later. Wink, wink.
Fixed it!
No, you didn't, Taylor. Get out of here. I haven't even started talking about you yet.
Sorry.
You know what else is funny, Dewey?
Belle, if you don't shut your mouth, I'll...
You'll do what? What about Miiverse?
If you don't stop this, I'll destroy you. We don't talk about Miiverse after dark.
Ah, son of a...
Dewey, stop swearing. We'll get demonetized. Aren't you gonna... Are you gonna turn back?
Nah, I kinda like it.
Okay. So, should we talk about the admins and some of the controversial users?
I guess we can now. Okay, so Miiverse had these admins that were actual people keeping the community under control. If you ask me though, they were pretty trigger happy. I one time had a post taken down for a spoiler. It was literally a picture of Cat Bowser. Like, what the fuck? And they were really inconsistent. I saw a lot of artists get their art removed, but you'll have an artist like this getting away with a lot, even though, you know, some of them got taken down. And don't get me started about politics. You couldn't even say Trump without getting banned in 2016. You can say something unrelated like, I'm gonna use my Trump card, and get a strike. I was banned a total of 4 times for the dumbest of reasons. Fuck the admins. Oh, I also remember this one time I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and all of a sudden, the ability to comment stopped working. I went back to the main menu and went back on and had a message saying I was banned for like 3 days for an old post I made. I forgot what it was, but it wasn't even offensive. The admins just got way too personal. I can imagine some middle-aged single mom getting mad at some post saying minivans kinda suck, and her just fuming and fuck that person's day up with the ban hammer. That was the admins, basically. They ignored everything bad on the app and went after little things. It was funny, to be honest. We made jokes about it all the time. A lot of people called them badmins, since saying admin would get you a strike. It was that bad.
Think of them as like child protective services, right? They ignore the obviously bad stuff such as the Smash support communities. You know, the posts that appear in-game. The admins never monitor it. I felt sorry for those who had female mains, but as soon as you mention anything small, like, hey, I want to be friends with this person, boom! Ban hammered. Oh, but that's against the code of conduct. Just follow the rules, you idiot. No. No. See, for whatever reason, there's this weird bias against 3DS users. Nintendo uses this fancy thing called friend codes. If you read the code of conduct, it states that the sharing of friend codes is not allowed. Gotta protect the kiddos, right? That seems fair and all. Well, Wii U users didn't use these friend codes. Their privileged asses got a designated add friend button. Oh, wait, I thought that wasn't allowed. That's right. Miiverse will not allow users to share friend codes, but also gave the option in the app itself for Wii U users to add friends with just a click of a button. Now, keep in mind, the 3DS had no way to interact with your friends except for a couple of apps that let you send little drawings and the friendlets itself with tiny status updates. Unless you had something like Animal Crossing, of course, interacting with your friends was virtually impossible. Why am I upset that I couldn't add friends on it? Well, that's simple. Take a look at the Wii U. This thing was basically Skype, but on a Nintendo console. You could DM people, you could even video chat with them. Video chat? Wait, I thought this was aimed for children. So the banning of friend codes wasn't to protect our children, but more of giving the finger to 3DS users since they were mad that the Wii U was trash. That's my headcanon anyway.
Why are you getting so upset? I barely use messaging or friend requests. I never even used Wii U chat. No one had a Wii U.
Well, if I wasn't such 3DS trash, I would have added you.
Silence, you 3DS peasant! I feel like I'm forgetting a few things. I can't put my finger on it though.
Actually, you trap, you did forget a few things.
Who are you?
Well, actually, I'm Doomy, but from the future, and you're an imposter. So be gone, thought.
Oh no!
Ah, that's much better. Now, Doomette here actually forgot a lot of things. She forgot to mention the Miiverse redesign, the 30 comment limit, and the 3-minute delay. So let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, how can we forget about Tom and all the hate that he got? Poor guy.
Okay, so basically, Nintendo and Miiverse, when it first launched, you had about 1,000 comments per post. And the thing is that since most people were just role-playing, Nintendo didn't like that because, you know, you were supposed to do it the Nintendo way. You were supposed to talk about whatever topic you were playing or something like that. And that's when Tom made the announcement, which I understand why he got criticism because he was the one announcing it, but most people forgot that he was just the face of Miiverse. Once this redesign came, you were limited to only 30 posts a day, and that includes comments. So let's say if you made a post, one post a day, and you only have 29 comments. Now, obviously, this pissed off a lot of people, and then Tom was the butt of the joke. Like, you had everyone saying they hated him, and it's just like this poor guy was just like a marketing face, you know, just like how like Phil Spencer is to Xbox. That's all it was. He was just the face of Miiverse. But these kids, they took it to a whole new level and started like roasting this guy. You know, they were gonna end his like career. Like,
Probably one of the worst things that somebody said about Tom is that they were gonna call his parents.
He deserved it, to be honest. Just look how smug he looks. Just look at these like comments of these people. I don't even know why they were so upset. I never really use Miiverse that often, but like it didn't really affect me. But these people that were Sonic High School roleplaying, they got really pissed off.
Because there was this thing called activity feed on Miiverse, right? That you can post it and only your followers can like really see it, or like anyone who goes onto your profile, so you're not taking up space onto another community, such as like the Pokemon community, for example. So like this activity feed can be used for like basically whatever. But Nintendo, like, you know, even in Tom's post, it says that these long drawn-out chats aren't actually game-related, so they did something about it. They completely removed activity feed. They added, you know, a bunch of limits and stuff, so people couldn't roleplay as much anymore. And, oh man, the kiddies were pissed.
I don't see any problem with this because a lot of these kids were just doing Sonic High School roleplays with their recolored Sonic OCs. Oh god, I can't take this serious.
My OC's name is Darkheart the Blood Wolf, and he uses blood magic to kill his enemies. I guess Miiverse was the only like accessible thing that these kids could use at the time. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a lot better places to go than Miiverse to talk about this kind of stuff.
I hope you guys do know that the reason why Miiverse probably came to a close was because you guys in the role-playing community just went way too far in things. I don't even think the memes were a big problem. I think it was just the role players. Oh, but you know, we don't really talk about that. And I'll just mention this, you know, how most people shipped Amy and Tom, you know, these Nintendo representatives, you know, I don't know, I'm not getting into it. Oh, the last day. Now that's something I can't say for sure because I don't have experience with the last day of Miiverse. Again, I stopped using it back in 2016, but Belle here actually got to see the last day, and I'll just let her speak.
Oh man, so basically when Miiverse hit the last day, like people were saying, I'm gonna be planning something, and then the last day happens. It's just like there were so many like pictures of like dicks and just like straight up like porn and stuff. Even like the popular users were like drawing like themselves like, you know, banging their girlfriend. What's going on? It's not even like bikinis anymore, it's like straight up boobs and stuff. There's a lot of it like archived, but obviously a lot of it was like deleted. But you know, there's still like a few people who actually like were like scrolling through it and recorded themselves doing it, but I think it's all censored. So I could confirm though that yeah, it was a pretty bad deal. And another thing to note is that like most of these people who drew porn on Miiverse, like they still draw porn now. So I mean, hey, I guess they had to start somewhere, right?
I mean, you could just take a look at like that game explained video that they made of the last day. And like you can see in the Splatoon community, I think the Splatoon community got it the worst, which is again it's just whatever, you know. God, you can see that like they drew like what was it, Callie and Marie naked, or like them like, you know, doing the wild thing. It was like, wow, this app was made for children, and most of these like degenerates are making like straight up porn. So yeah, I can see why Nintendo, you know, pulled the plug on the thing. God, I love these posts with dick drawings.
You know what? I'm not happy with the outcome of Miiverse. I'm gonna call Tom's mom right now, even though it's 3 years too late. Come on, Tom's mom, I know you're there.
Hello, Tom's mom speaking.
Hey Tom's mom, I just wanted to let you know that even though it's been 3 years now, your son's behavior back on Miiverse was very unacceptable. He took away the kids' right to Sonic roleplay and also redesigned Miiverse as a whole, which changed everything. That's what I wanted to let you know.
Oh, I'll be sure to remind Tom where he comes from.
Okay, thanks.
Tom!
No, Daddy, no! Now, about the users. Do you want to take the lead on this one?
I mean, the good or the bad?
Oh, I know. Let's talk about Shinaruka, the literal punching bag of Miiverse. Shinaruka here is also known to a lot of people as Brit.
Oh, you mean Bayonetta?
Yes, that Brit. She was a popular user on Miiverse, having about 6,000 followers, I believe. You either loved or hated her. I don't even get how she was so infamous. She was like any other user who was popular on the app, but there was always this mob after her.
I guess it has to do with how she wasn't very responsive to people who commented. People just kind of assume that she wasn't a nice person just because of that. I know a lot of people get pretty ass hurt when they're ignored. Is that too harsh?
Don't get me wrong, I made fun of her one time, but I was only joking. It was pretty lighthearted too. I think it was more so the group that she got involved with. A lot of her friends were toxic and she would defend them a lot. I wonder what she's doing right now. Let's try to call her. But back on topic, the group of friends that she was involved with? Belle, do you remember the artist Taylor?
Do you remember Copper?
Let's not go there.
Fine. But I do remember him being more popular than some other users.
Oh yeah, like the guy Immoral. So the story goes like this. Taylor the artist was crazy popular on Miiverse. He drew lots of Nintendo related things and was friends with lots of popular artists. One of them being this guy Immoral. I know people have different styles, but let's be real for a sec. Immoral was arguably the better artist, but had less followers than Taylor. And that made him so pissed at Taylor one day. Taylor only found fame on the app because of his Nintendo related drawings. You can draw almost anything and put your heart and soul into it and get 5 yes. But draw a picture of Mario and you are guaranteed a few hundred yes. That's just how Miiverse was. Immoral did it all wrong. You know, despite drawing amazing, all he drew was his OC that was literally just edgy Mario with headphones. Immoral was being a dick.
This guy was more than just a dick. Like, every now and then he would make a post just to boost his own ego. Every now and then you'll see him like, sigh, people only follow me because of my drawings. Yeah, no fucking shit. Just like everyone else who's like on the Miiverse platform. Anyone who was popular on that platform was only popular because they drew. That's not that big of a deal. Even people in the comments are saying, yeah, what's the issue? But of course, Immoral never really said anything about this. And he also constantly made posts about like, oh man, my art sucks, I'm terrible, ooh. And the people in the comments be like, no, everything's fine, you know, you're a good artist. I follow you because you have a good personality. And he never responds except to like his girlfriend who like drew her OC all the time crying about like, oh man, Ludwig, they changed his voice actor. Oh my god, like, I'm going to die. This girl was like, in her like mid-20s. She was like 24. But yes, like, the thing is, like, he has this girlfriend, right? And like, you know, they would like draw their OCs together. But then you have her name's Maria. She would draw herself like with Ludwig, and like she would ship herself with all these other Mario characters, and it's just like, man, Amaral is like the ultimate cuck. And yet he has like the audacity to say that, like, he has the audacity to be like, oh my god, like, you're not drawing me, you're just like a piece of shit. Even like Taylor was calling him out like, hey Amaral, hey Amaral, you know, you're just being selfish. And then, no joke, Taylor in the same like post says, oh, by the way, can you draw me Banjo-Kazooie in your art style, please?
Soy milk.
So good and tasty?
Okay, like, not all, like, the most popular users were like this, but at least when it came to, like, 2016, 2015, and, like, so on, that's when, like, the more toxic ones showed up. Because you do have, like, a few, like, wholesome ones that will actually, like, respond to everyone, but, like, Amaral and Taylor and then, like, all those other people are just like, man, what the hell is wrong with them? It's so fucking stupid, you know?
Damn, tell me how you really feel.
What if Amara was to, like, come across this video and be like, hey, what the fuck, guys? Like, I'm not like that anymore. I was 14 when I said that. And then, you know, we become, like, best friends, and then, like, she's like, well, I see Taylor hasn't changed. I mean, I don't hate him anymore, but I won't draw him that Banjo-Kazooie score. Fuck that guy.
But Taylor's response to it was fucking hilarious. This was the best thing about Taylor. He would get himself into so much drama, but his reactions to things made it funny. And I think Britt being friends with him only made her get some of the hate that was directed towards him. They were best friends at one point, and she did what any normal friend would do, so I guess I can see why she would get herself into his situations. That being said, Taylor posted his entire life on Miiverse. If Taylor got pizza for dinner, you'd know about it. He pretty much lived on Miiverse. We're talking about a guy that made a comic about a gender bent multiverse with all of his friends, and then shipped himself with his gender bent self. Are you following along? I hope so, because it gets better.
Oh, how about the time when he worked at a soup kitchen? Or when he stubbed his toe? I don't get why he felt the need to post that.
He was definitely an interesting character. I hope he's doing better. And with that, I think we're done with our experience on Miiverse. In retrospect, Miiverse...
Wait, Doomy. Who's this guy?
Oh, I didn't even notice him. Who cut off the lights?
Hey guys, how's it going?